Hey folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining me at the Play School. Now, I'm recording this in January 2025, which means that because of Oasis's impending reunion tour, excitement is really growing online. And it got me thinking, what Oasis songs work well on piano? Because obviously they're largely a guitar-based band. And I came up with Champagne Supernova. Now this is a great track, hugely popular, and in good news for us, not terribly difficult chords-wise. The structure's a little funky, but more of that later. So as always, I'm going to start with the chords and the structure and some rhythm stuff. And then later on at the end, I'm going to teach you how to play all those interludes and the guitar solo. So let's crack on. Okay, so Champagne Supernova is in the key of A, which is going to be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. That's our A major scale. Now, we are actually going to play G a lot more than we play G sharp, which for the jazzers out there makes it more of like an A mixolydian, I guess. But doesn't really matter to us. We just need to know the chords, right? So let's do it. A, C sharp, E, A major. Stick it with an A in the bass. Now our bass line is going to become really important. It is really important. It's the heart and soul of the piece, really. And it's going to descend A, G, F sharp, E. And aside from a couple of variations here and there, that's all your left hand is going to be doing for the verses, the intros, the interludes, and the choruses. Okay, and we're just going to keep this chord A, C sharp, E. Special people change. How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? Okay. Those will be represented as A/G, or A over G. That means A chord with a G in the bass. Same for A over F sharp and A over E. Now we could argue that this is an F sharp minor 7 chord, which it is. But I just think in terms of clarity, in terms of remembering what to play, it's just this descending bass line is a lot easier. So let's call it A over F sharp. And you can tell me I'm wrong in the comments. Okie dokie, so that is basically it. Now what are we going to do rhythmically? As I said, this is starts off as like a guitar-based song. It's got that acoustic strumming introduction. And what we could do is take that strumming rhythm, that strumming pattern, and translate it very literally into a piano rhythm, which would sound something like... which is okay, and you can do that if you want. I personally would not do that because we're not trying to turn the piano into a guitar. We're trying to play this song as nicely as possible on the piano. So I would simplify this right down again and go back. I use this pattern a lot. And 3 and 4 and both, right, left, right, left, right, both, right, left, right, left, right, both, yeah. And that's not to say you can't kind of spice that up by putting some extra in between the lyrics, like, you know, this is a really good starting pattern for a lot of songs and a good jumping off point rhythmically to spice it up. You know, so let's start there. Now the good news is that chord pattern is going to take you through your intro, your first two verses, first verse, which is like 2 times around the chords, and your first chorus, which is 2 times around the chords. So let's try that. So intro. So you'll do this twice. I'm only going to do it once. And then I'll just sing half the verse. So we're walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide and champagne supernova in the sky. That is that. Okay, so those chords are going to get you through pretty much the whole song. There's a lot of variations which we're going to come to, but that's the long and short of it. Now, the only other bit we need is our bridge. Now, this is always going to come out of a chorus, which I guess means I should tell you about one of those variations. As we go into our first chorus, let's call it the quiet chorus, no change. All the way through that. Now, the other two choruses, which are the loud choruses, we're going to use an E chord instead of A over E. And we're actually going to use that E chord 3 times in a row. That's twice in the choruses and also on the last time round of the verse chords. So getting into the chorus and during the chorus. So imagine we've gone... slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Okay, now to get to that, we want to keep our E that we've got our pinky on. And instead of being A, we're just going to expand downwards away from our pinky onto E, G sharp and B. Good time to start doubling your bass notes as well. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. And again the E there. Quick note on that left hand actually, because I've just started doing something which again I do a lot, which is where we keep that both right, left, right, left, right. But on the downbeat, on the 1, we give it both. That does, it gives us that weight down at the bottom, but it makes it this can be like, it can be a little bit clunky. Okay, so give that a try. Right, so after we've come out of our second chorus, the first loud chorus, we will be on an E. Champagne Supernova in the sky. And we want to go to a G chord. So we're on an E here, E, G sharp, B. We need G in root position. G, B, D. So we're going to keep our middle note, our B. Because people believe and back up to our A. And back down to G. Next chord after that is D major. We're going to go, we've got our D. D major is D, F sharp and A. So we can just take the D to the top. F sharp and A. And then we're up to an E. Now, that E is the one we used a minute ago. E, G sharp, B, and then just to really finish it off, we want E7. We'll use our trick for 7 chords, which is where we take the root note wherever it occurs in our right hand. So here it's just there, and we're going to drop it 2 half steps. Now, I'm often saying how we don't need to play the E here if we're playing the E down here. But actually that's a little too bluesy for me with that D on the top. So we'll do E, and then we'll add the D. Okay, let's try that whole bridge. So imagine we've come from Okay, so before we talk about the variations, I just want you to take a look at the structure. As is often the case when we've got pieces with repeated chord sequences used for different sections in the structure, it can look a little bit daunting. But as I've said many times before, if you know this song, then this is just kind of for reference, just for our purposes now, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of just drop these little sections that I'm teaching you into the right place in the song. So we need to talk about a couple of variations. Number one, we've already kind of covered. This is our using an E instead of A over E, okay? And just to recap, that doesn't happen at all in all the quiet bits at the beginning. It only happens as we go into chorus 2, which is a loud chorus. So it's into and during, so that's 3 times in a row. And then we'll find that happens again basically as we go through the verse chorus process again. We've got that going into and during the loud chorus. So that's your E there. Now, the other two variations I want to talk to you about, one of them happens in the guitar solo. So this is going to come after we've done the third chorus, and it's going to come straight, we'll do third chorus, then we'll do a bridge, and then we're going to go straight out into the guitar solo. And this variation, so let's assume that you're not playing the guitar solo, we're going to cover that at the end. We're going to go... So far, so normal. But then we're going to go to F in root position, F, A, C, G, G, B, D, and back to A. Going on whilst Paul Weller and Noel Gallagher dueling guitars, and then so those chorus chords or those chords for the solo are going to go around 4 times, and on the 4th occasion we're going to repeat this ending. Okay. So 3 times round in total, well, I guess 4 times round in total with an extra 2 F to Gs at the end. Okay, and let's leave that structure there and let's talk about the ending. Okay, so after we've done the guitar solo, there'll then be the more interlude bits, and there's like a little, it's half a verse. How many special people change? How many lives? Back to quiet. Where were you while we were getting high? And then we're getting high. It just repeats. We were getting high. We were getting high. We were getting high. We were getting high. Now, if you include the one line of verse, then we've got 4 times round the chords there. And then on the 4th time round, your ending. Okay, so I've got 3 super cool bits of additional jazz here. The first one, there's a harmonium in Champagne Supernova, which took us all by surprise in 1995, I think. And it plays this riff. And we're going to call this interlude on the structure because we've got another interlude with a guitar riff over it. So we're going to call that interlude and riff. So first of all, our harmonium interlude. Now we would imagine we've come out of a out of a chorus. And now instead of just staying here, A, C sharp, E, we're going to invert once. A goes to A. We're going to invert again because we want the C sharp on the top. And that's where your movement is. We can just start there. And as you get more confident, we can add in more rhythm. The most important bit is just da 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 da. Okay, that's your first bit. That happens on its own the first time, and the second couple of times that happens, it is followed by or joined by a guitar riff. Now, I love to talk about pentatonic scales because they're a great route into improvising on the piano. Now, this first riff is not improvised. We're going to play this exactly as Noel Gallagher plays it on the record. Now, our pentatonic scale in A, the major pentatonic is A, B, C sharp, 1, 2, 3 of the scale. Skip 4 and play 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. All right. Now, if you play that scale, A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, A, B, C sharp, up to there, and that is all the notes we need for this interlude riff. I'll play it for you, and then we'll talk about how it's structured. So we're looking for. How is this constructed? Well, we've come from here. So we can just remember we're starting on that C sharp. Now let's split it into two halves, both of which work in kind of step, but within the scale, right? So Noel Gallagher's just working his way around the fretboard in this little motion that's very good on the guitar. And it means we want to go. So that's our first bit. C sharp, B, A, F sharp, A, F sharp. Yeah. And then we're going to drop down to a B. And then up, all the way up. You have a play around with which fingers you want to use for this. I would probably go there, use all 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb underneath, because it puts you in a nice position to do this. Yeah, but you can work it out. I'm not going to go on too much about that. So we've got 2 bits. Bit number 1, and then they link together. To end it, just up to the E. Okay, so let's put those 2 interlude bits together. So we've done come a. Okay, so try and stick those bits in. Now let's have some fun with this guitar solo. This is the last thing we're going to talk about, and this guitar solo was world famous at the time. Paul Weller played on it, and we've just used our major pentatonic scale. We're now going to switch to the minor pentatonic scale, which is A, C, D, E, G, A. So what's 1, C, D, E, G, and we'll start there, okay? That's all white notes. We're just missing out B and F because they're going to sound horrible. So let's think. We've gone. We've just come out of. Oops. And of course, in the core, in this guitar solo, we're. right notes will set you up very well. If you get good at that, we can also add at E flat, which gives us the blues scale. Give that a go. Any questions or comments, leave it in the comments, and I will see you next time.